Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to my guide for newbies to TF2. I'm Achilles13, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I saw a couple guides on YouTube, and I wasn't really happy with how they just kind of glossed over everything. And I understand that they're just kind of doing it pretty quick, but I want to go a little bit more in depth with this one. First off, let's start off with the new menu here. This is the new menu after the Uber update. You can see your messages from Valve here. Just kind of little information about what's going on. Then we have this new little start playing menu here. Basically, it just kind of goes over all the different modes, and you can just jump in real quick. First, you got payload, which is blue team pushes a cart all the way down the map, and red team tries to prevent them from pushing it all the way in. Then you got King of the Hill, where everyone's trying to capture one point on the map, and you have to keep it for a certain amount of time to win. Then you have attack defense. Attack defense is I don't do it too much, but if I understand it correctly, basically blue team wins by capturing all the control points before time runs out, and red team has to prevent that from happening. Payload race is similar just to regular payload, except there's two carts, and whoever pushes it in first wins. Then you have control points. Basically, each team has an equal amount of control points that they own, and the goal is to capture all of them, but it can go back and forth and last a long time if you let it. So it's pretty cool back and forth kind of thing. Capture the flag. Instead of an actual flag, it's an intelligence briefcase, and it's pretty similar to all the other kind of modes, but now you got to deal with sentries and all the other classes special stuff. And then random, just whatever you feel like doing. Then you get your browse servers list. That'll bring up a list of just everything. I have a bunch of filters on here, so you'll have different things than me. But if you see this little icon here, that means it's VAC secured, so that means Valve's watching you if you're cheating. That one right there means replays are enabled. That's the name of the server, IP address, game, and so on. This little button here is it creates a server of your own, little local server. I usually use it for training and stuff. You can see kind of all the different options here for it. But yeah, if you kind of just want to start your own little listening server, not like an actual server where you can put in plugins and stuff, but just a little thing for that, you can do that. Then we're going to have training, and if you're new, I highly suggest that you do training right off the bat. So I did all of them for an achievement. If you finish all these, you get an achievement, but it really introduces you to all the main classes and how they kind of work, and all the different concepts of TF2, like teamwork, and with Soldier you kind of have to anticipate the target rather than shoot directly at it like a sniper. So definitely go through all these, and then when you're done with those, probably even do the offline practice, just so you kind of get a grasp of how to work with the team and kind of what's expected. Then we have our items, shop, and replays. The shop is kind of you can buy stuff like hats or keys for crates, or there's even bundles. And if you don't want to be a free-to-play player anymore and you want to shift over to premium, one of these little starter packs is a great way to do that. It's only $1. Replays, I got a bunch of replays just because I like posting stuff when I can. But you can go through these and edit them and post them on YouTube directly through TF2, which is really nice. And then we're going to go through these items here because it helps me explain all the classes. We've got the Scout, Soldier, Pyro, Demo, Heavy, Engineer, Medic, Sniper, and Spy. And I'm going to go through all these with you kind of in depth here. Scout is kind of a harassing type class. At first, I would think people just rush in with him and try and get everyone's face, which is it's a good thing to get in people's face, but you don't want to take people head on. You want to actually go to their flank and get behind him as much as you can, and then get out, because he's only got 125 health. You can augment that with the Milkman set, which I do have, and that'll give you 150 health. But you have to use a specific loadout for it to work, and it's only 150 health, which is big, but not that big. So use them to harass. That's the best way to kind of get around to use Scout, I think. Then you have Soldier. Soldier is probably one of the best classes to start out with. I agree with Aces Gamer, who said that. Just because he's got 200 health, he's got weapons that you're probably familiar with. He's got use the rocket launcher. I use a kind of a different loadout. But if you're just starting out, you'll start out with something kind of like this, no hat, and basically rocket launchers got 4 rockets. Like I said earlier, you don't want to shoot directly at the target, because by the time it gets to them, it'll miss. So kind of shoot in front of them or anticipate the target, basically, and that's how you shoot that rocket launcher. It's kind of slow. You got your shotgun. Shotgun's really underestimated, I think. People try to use it for finishing people off. I try to use it more for mid-range stuff, and kind of to finish people off as well too. Basically, when you shoot people with rockets, a lot of people try and get in your face, and if you shoot too close to the rocket launcher, you'll do damage to yourself. So switch that shotgun, and especially with pyros. Pyros will try to reflect your rockets with their air blast. So instead of trying to blast them with rocket launcher, you can either shoot them with a shotgun, or if you're smart, you can instead of just bam, 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 bam with your rocket launcher, like time your rockets, like bam, bam, and that'll kind of slip pyros up. Next class is the pyro, like I was talking about. A lot of people do W mouse 1 with pyro, which is, it works. It's also annoying, and it's not using pyro to its fullest extent. If you're just starting out, you'll look something like this: shotgun and an axe. Basically, flamethrower is awesome. You burn people, and then once you burn them, you'll have an afterburn effect, which just keeps doing a small amount of DPS damage to them. When you mouse 2, you can air blast stuff, and air blast is what sets apart pyro from everyone else, because with air blast, you can reflect rockets, you can reflect demo man grenades and stickies, you can blow people out that are on fire. So if you see anyone on fire, make sure you blow them out. And then lastly, if someone pops an Uber on another player, you can blow them back, because you can't do damage to them, so just blow them back and annoy the crap out of them. That is why pyro is awesome. Also, pyro has this one thing called the homewrecker here. It's a melee weapon. It's the only weapon in the game besides an engineer's wrench that can remove sappers from buildings, and I'll go into that a little bit later here. But if you're on defense and you need to protect your Engies, which I highly recommend, bring this with you. Your engineers will love you. Next we got our demo man. Believe it or not, he's Scottish. It's awesome. A lot of people actually still use the default loadout for demo man just because it's so powerful. You got your grenade launcher here, which shoots 4 grenades. How that's different from Soldier is, instead of it going in a straight line, is it goes in an arc, so you can lob that above stuff to where a regular rocket couldn't get to before. Then you got your sticky bomb launcher, and I'm not too awesome with demo like my other friends are, but basically you can actually detonate this in midair, and if you charge it, it'll go a further distance. So a great way to use this either is to lay traps for people, since it sticks to stuff, hence the name, and then wait for people to kind of come at you and blow them up when they're not expecting it into a sticky trap, or just shoot it kind of like your grenade launcher here directly at people, then blow it up in midair. Great way to do it. Also, later on, once you get some more drops, like the Charge and Targe, Demo Man is a great demo knight, is what we call him, because he can charge people, and once you cut someone's head off with this Eyelander here, only with the Eyelander though, you'll get some health back and start moving faster, up to about, I think, scout speed once you have 4 heads. So that's really great, especially for medieval mode. Then we got Heavy. Heavy is a tank. He is the tank. If this were an RPG, he's the tank because he's huge. He has 300 health. He moves slow, and his minigun does tons of damage. A little note about the minigun is the further away a target is, the less damage it does. The closer he is, the more damage it does. That's called fall-off damage. So it still helps if you're hitting from far away. You just won't be getting as big of numbers. Once you can, please get the sandwich. The shotgun, it's okay, but a lot of people use it still. But most people are going to use the sandwich. And why the sandwich is because since you're such a bullet magnet, it really helps if you don't have a medic to just kind of heal yourself. If you mouse one, you eat the whole sandwich. It takes a couple seconds, and that restores your whole health. If you're in a bind, just mouse 2. That throws the sandwich on a plate and gives you 150 health back. Or you can throw it at your medic or another teammate, and they'll get their health back. So that really helps out a lot. And then a lot of people mostly use the GRU is what the acronym is. Gloves Running Urgently. That's the KGB, and the Fist of Steel. Fist of Steel are great because it's like a little shield for you, right? It takes off 40% damage from range sources is the text. And the Gloves Running Urgently, instead of running like a slow heavy, you can move at normal speed at the cost of 6 health per second. Both of those are really powerful, so look out for those. Next, we're going to go on to our Engineer. Engineer is it's a great class. He's really versatile when his teammates are kind of protecting him because he needs protection. Because it's really easy to take out his machines. I mean, all it takes is a sapper or a couple Demo Man grenades to take out all his stuff. So make sure if you're on NG, you know what you're doing, and you can kind of find good spots for his stuff. Let me kind of explain this. Basically, Engineer has access to a sentry, a dispenser, and a teleporter. Teleporter, you set up an entrance and then you set up an exit. Dispenser basically gives health and ammo to anyone nearby it. And then you have a sentry, which it shoots people automatically, basically. And you can upgrade all this stuff to level 3. Level 3 sentry has rockets and has like 2 Gatling guns on it. Dispenser, level 3, gives you you know, a lot of health, a lot of ammo, and metal for the Engineer. And then your teleporter, once it's level 3, it teleports people real fast. Now, I mentioned metal. The way Engineer builds all this stuff is he has instead of ammo for guns, he has metal for his machines. So it costs like 100. You'll learn the costs for the machines, especially in the training, which I highly recommend right now. But basically, the key to Engineer, I think, is finding a good spot for a sentry. And playing Engineer for a while, basically, you want to find a corner that you can't get shot at, and people have to walk out to, so they get popped from behind. It usually works well on choke points a lot. Different maps have different spots, and you'll just have to learn them as you play the certain maps. But kind of just stay in an out-of-way corner where you can't get blown up too easily, and that's the best advice I can give for him. Medic is probably the other easiest class next to Soldier. The whole key to playing Medic is to keep everyone else alive and stay alive yourself. Now, what's nice about medic is like, oh, well, who keeps the medic alive, right? Well, the medic, he has a natural health regen, and he gets it depending on what kind of weapons you have. You might get a little bit more if you have the Crusader's crossbow set, but yeah, a lot of people they talk about pocket medics. You might hear that term. That means a person who's only healing one person and that person only. You don't really ever want to do that unless you just have a ton of medics. Then I guess you could. But even then, you want to try and I guess one of the good rules I saw is instead of keeping one person fully alive, it's better to have your teammates at all your teammates at half health than everyone else dead except for one guy who's got full health. So try and keep everyone alive as best as you can and stay alive yourself. Now, once you built up a certain amount of charge on your metagun, you'll get an uber charge and on the metagun specifically, and basically that lets anyone that you mouse to on, it lets them be invincible for 8 seconds, and you'll see them turn their team color like red or blue, and that's how you know that they're invincible. Now, depending on what gun you have the Kritzkrieg at 100%, gives that teammate 100% critical hit rate for 8 seconds, and then the quick fix, the new one, basically I call it a mega heal, because basically you heal people really fast. It's a 300% heal rate, I think it is. So that's it's useful. It also has a drawback of no overheal. So just stuff to keep in mind. Then we have a sniper. Sniper, if you don't play any other, if you played a bunch of FPS games, you'll probably be familiar with how he works. How to explain this? Basically, yeah, shoot for the head. Basically, that gives the most amount of damage. If you charge up your gun, you can do up to 450 damage, which is the kill. It can one-shot kill any class in the game. When I say charge, you gotta. To do that, you have to headshot them, though, of course. Then you have this SMG. A lot of people don't like. They think the SMG is gonna be like, you know, a modern game where you can just run up to people and shoot it like an assault rifle. No, it doesn't work like that. This is a mid-range, kind of to close-range gun to use to kind of just pick off stragglers. So you'll snipe them, and they might be coming to mid-range. You can either line up another shot, or if they're too quick for you, pull out the SMG. Most people, however, are going to use Girardi. What Girardi does is you throw it, and within a certain radius, that person will be coated with the Girardi, and now they take mini crits, and that's a big damn deal. Also, it extinguishes fires, and it can show you cloak spies, so that's a good thing to keep in mind. Then finally, we have probably my favorite class, the Spy. And the Spy, what he does is he's kind of your cloak and dagger kind of guy. You cloak with one of these this invisible watch here. That'll make you invisible. If you bump into people, they will see you and they will know there's a spy. So don't bump into people. Then you also have a disguise kit for the Spy. What you want to do is, now there's two ways you can do this. You can actually disguise as the friendly team and like your team color and look like another teammate other than the Spy, and kind of just trick people that you're going in as someone else, and then cloak, go behind them, and then disguise as the enemy team and stab them from behind. That's the whole point of this class, is stabbing people from behind. So try and blend in as much as you can. Why would you ever want to disguise as a friendly teammate? Well, if you ever get this Dead Ringer, that would be a great way to do it. You disguise as basically what Dead Ringer does is if you get hit once by anything, you'll feign death, basically look like you died, and then you'll go to cloak. That way you can slip in behind people and uncloak. Once during your cloak, of course, you want to disguise as an enemy team. or be as sneaky as possible. And yeah, that's kind of spy to you. The training goes over it really well, I think. Also, don't forget about sappers. Sap all engineer buildings. There's a technique you can do where it's you have your knife and then your sapper on your quick switch, which is Q if you're not aware. Um, if you're really good, you stab an engineer and then sap all the stuff before the sentry can kill you. That's a great way just to mess up an engineer's day. Okay, so that's kind of all the classes. Just a kind of a brief overview, but a little bit more in depth than some others. I guess we'll go over crafting and all this other stuff here real quick. Crafting, basically, instead of having to find all your weapons by drops, you can actually craft them, and you can see the recipes for all items in the little pie chart here. That'll give you, it's like, so, okay, say I want to do a lock and load, which is a demo man weapon. It says I need a reclaimed weapon and a Scottish resistance. Okay, or reclaimed metal, I'm sorry. Well, how do you make reclaimed metal? Well, you make reclaimed metal by having 3 scrap metal. How do you make scrap metal? By combining 2 of the same kind of weapon, like either 2 melee weapons, 2 secondary, primary, or 2 class weapons. So once you do that, it'll make a scrap metal. You get 3 scrap metal, you make a reclaimed metal. Alright, now I got a reclaimed metal. I can go to the lock and load and make, you know, reclaimed metal and what other weapon it needs to make this. So that's just kind of how it goes. If you save up enough metal, once you're a premium type member, you can make hats, I believe. That's 3 refined metal. Refined metal is 3 reclaimed, so it's going to be 9 reclaimed if I'm doing my math right. For a hat, this will just give you a random hat. If you already have 2 hats, you can, you know, take a chance and make another random hat with rebuild headgear. Then there's fabricate class headgear. If you make a class token, which is what is it? It's 3 weapons of the same class. That's right. And then use 4 refined. You can make a specific hat for that person, and so on and so forth. And then there's special here, which is kind of for events like Halloween and stuff like that. The catalog, all the catalog is, it just shows you every weapon in the TF2 universe, including the hats. And then trading, which if you're free to play, you can only receive items. But once you you know, you make one purchase in the Manco store, you can trade with other people. None of my friends are actually playing right now, but trading, I got almost half my stuff through trading, so that's very powerful, very versatile type thing. And that's kind of it. I'm glad you guys watched this video. If you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments below there. And thanks for watching.